Welcome to the deep dive from the Moore's Global Finance Podcast team. I'm John, and with me is Tiffany, our expert for this deep dive. So are you ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Always excited to explore these financial things. And today, it's BullionVault, which is really shaking up how people invest in precious metals.
Okay, so for those of us who haven't really, thought about gold bars and silver coins and all that, what exactly is Bullion Vault?
Well, you can kind of think of it like an online marketplace. You can buy, sell, and even store physical precious metals, gold,
Oh,
silver, platinum, all of it. And it's not just a small little operation either. We're talking billions of pounds in assets being managed. More gold than some countries even have in their reserves.
wow, billions.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. What's the appeal? What makes Bullion Vault different than just going to a coin shop or buying an ETF?
I think the accessibility is really interesting. You can literally trade any amount starting from 100 pounds all the way up to millions. So it's not just for the super rich. It opens up precious metal investing to almost anyone.
Okay, low barrier to entry. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what about actual ownership? When you buy something through Bullion Vault, are you getting the actual metal, or is it just some kind of digital promise?
This is where it gets really interesting. You actually own the physical metal, not just a paper representation of it. Bullion Vault stores it for you in these really secure vaults that are managed independently all over the world.
Wait, so my gold would be sitting in a vault with a bunch of other people's gold. That brings up a question about security.
Yeah.
How can I be sure that my precious metals are actually, safe?
I think that's a really valid concern, and Bullion Vault takes security very seriously. They partner with big names in the industry for storage. Loomis, Melka, Emit, Brinks. These are companies that are known for keeping valuables safe. We're talking about Fort Knox levels of security here.
Okay, that does make me feel a bit better.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing those vaults aren't free. So what are the fees like with Bullion Vault?
Well, they are really upfront about their fees. You have a commission when you buy and sell, and it actually gets lower the more you invest. There's also a yearly fee for storage and insurance, and they're very clear about potential bank transfer costs too, which can vary a lot depending on your bank.
Okay, so commission storage and possible bank transfer fees. Good to know they're transparent about that.
Mm.
But honestly, all this talk about gold vaults and billions of pounds makes me feel a bit overwhelmed. Is this really something for regular people?
Well, that's where Bullion Vault's focus on fractional ownership comes in. They let you buy part of a larger gold bar, even just 1 gram. So you get the same price as big institutions that buy in bulk, just on a smaller scale.
So you're saying I could own a tiny piece of a giant gold bar. That's pretty cool. Sounds like they've really thought about making this accessible.
Exactly. And for those who like to keep an eye on their investments, they have 24/7 trading. They also have this really great mobile app that lets you buy, sell, see how your holdings are doing, and check prices anytime, anywhere.
Okay, so it's accessible, secure, transparent, and easy to use. But there's got to be some downsides, right? What's the catch?
Well, like any investment, there's always risk. Precious metals can be volatile, and their prices go up and down depending on a bunch of different things happening in the world, like
Right.
economic uncertainty or big global events.
Right, so it's not just about buying gold and forgetting about it. You really need to be comfortable with the fact that the value might go up or down.
Right.
So what else should I know before I even think about using Bullion Vault?
Well, before you jump in, you really need to think about your investment goals. Are you looking for quick profits, or are you more interested in long-term stability? Maybe you want something to protect you against inflation, or even a combination of all those things.
That's a really good point. It's easy to get caught up in something new, but I have to ask myself, does this actually make sense for my finances?
Exactly. And Billion Vault actually works with a lot of different investment strategies. One thing that caught my attention was their regular gold investment plan. It's basically like setting up automatic savings, but instead of putting money into a regular savings account, you're slowly buying more and more gold over time.
That's interesting. Kind of takes the emotion out of it, just consistently buying a bit at a time. But honestly, investing in precious metals seems kind of intimidating for someone who's more used to things like stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
Does Bullion Vault offer any help for beginners?
Oh, definitely. They actually have a ton of educational resources right on their website to explain everything about precious metals. You'll find articles, guides, even videos explaining all the details about gold, silver, platinum, palladium, the whole works.
So they're not just a place to buy and sell. They're also a source of information. That's a big plus. It shows they're actually invested in helping their users learn and make good decisions. One thing we talked about earlier was just how big Bullion Vault is. They manage billions in assets and have users in over 175 countries. What does that tell you about their impact on the investment world?
I think what's really amazing is how Bullion Vault has made investing in precious metals possible for almost anyone. They've taken something that used to be only for the wealthy or big institutions and made it accessible no matter how much money you have.
It's like they've evened the playing field, bringing gold and silver investing into the digital age. But with any online platform, especially one dealing with something as valuable as precious metals trust, is a big deal. How do they build trust with their users?
Transparency is super important, and BullionVault does a good job there. They give you clear and detailed information about their fees, how storage works, and their security measures. And the fact that they partner with these well-known and respected vault operators like Loomis and Brinks, that adds a whole other level of trust and confidence.
So they're not just saying, trust us. They're actually proving it with real evidence and partnerships with companies that people already trust. Now, we've talked a lot about the features and the benefits, but what about the real-world experience of people using BullionVault? Are people happy with it?
I think that's a really important question. And the answer seems to be a big yes. Their customer reviews on sites like Trustpilot are overwhelmingly positive. People consistently say good things about their customer service, how easy it is to use the platform, and how well the mobile app
Of
works.
course, no company is perfect. Were there any complaints or negative feedback that you noticed?
While most of the reviews are really good, there are a few complaints here and there. Some people found the platform a little confusing at first, and others had some problems with international bank transfers. But nothing that seemed like a major issue. Just something to keep in mind.
It's always good to look at things from different angles. So we've covered a lot of ground. Accessible, secure, transparent, user-friendly, good customer reviews. Bullion Vault seems to be doing a lot of things, right? But before we tell our listeners to go out and buy gold bars, what are the key takeaways? What's the most important information they should remember?
I think the most important thing to remember is that Bullion Vault offers a really great way to add some variety to your investments and possibly protect yourself against inflation. But just like with any investment, you need to understand the risks, do your research, and make sure it fits in with your overall financial goals.
That's great advice. So for those who are interested in maybe adding some gold or silver to their investments, what's the best way to learn more about Bullion Vault?
Their website is a great place to start. It's full of information, detailed FAQs, insightful articles, and guides all about investing in precious metals.
And for the people who learn best by doing whatever, they can always download the mobile app and try it out themselves.
Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are your final thoughts on Bullion Vault? What's the big picture here?
What really stands out to me is how Bullion Vault has changed the way people think about investing in precious metals. They've made it possible for everyone to participate. It's a platform that gives people more control over their own financial futures. Well said. It's been really fascinating learning about such an innovative platform. And with that, we want to thank you, our listener, for joining us on this deep dive into Bullion Vault. We hope you've learned something new and feel more confident about making decisions about your financial future.
And remember, you can find more information about Bullion Vault and other investment opportunities on the Moore's Global Finance website. Until next time, happy investing.